Hi, welcome to the Sports Cruise on the Our Media channel. My name is Jose. We'll be taking a look at, some of the interesting happenings and also development in the Premier League. Also, where at Anfield, Manchester United managed to defy the odds. Because going into that game, everyone was thinking that they were going to be baptized at the Anfield, but after 90 minutes, they really showed some character in that game, drawing 2-2 against Liverpool. But in that game, Mo Salah made history. We'll be talking about that subsequently on today's edition. And then also in front, it was a big trophy between Paris Saint-Germain and then also Monaco. And it was PSG that edged them to win that one. But in Madrid, there's quite something happening because Vinicius Jr was sent off in their game against Valencia at the Mestalla. And Carlo Ancelotti, who is the manager of Real Madrid, has been speaking about his suspension and why teams are quite happy that the current FIFA best player wouldn't be featuring in the upcoming game. So many more I will be talking about here on the Sports Cruise. But don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and then also just turn on the notification button so that you stay updated with all the latest in the world of sports. All right, so let's start off with that game, that thrilling 2-2 draw at the Anfield, where Liverpool actually dropped points as far as their title challenge is concerned, because Manchester United went into that game at the back of 4 straight defeats in all competitions. It's not really gone so well for Ruben Amorim since he was named the substantive manager after Ten Hag was sacked. So it all started in the second half after a goalless first half. It was that's Martinez who got United in front with one belter over, you could call it, one shot that just flew past Alisson, and then it was Liverpool that turned the heat on, and Cody Gakpo also responded with a lovely goal. And then it was Mo Salah who actually made history in that game because he moved joint together with Premier League legend Thierry Henry on 175 goals in the Premier League, and that's quite an achievement. Talking about Mo Salah, who has been with Liverpool for close to 10 seasons, but it's quite a remarkable feat to see an Egyptian or even an African manage to score such a number of goals in the Premier League. So Mo Salah puts Liverpool ahead 2-1, where you'd be thinking that United haven't really fared well in the last 8 years in the Premier League as far as playing at Anfield is concerned, because the last time they won at Anfield was in 2016, so 9 years ago when Wayne Rooney actually scored for them. But since then, they've lost 4 and then also drawn 4 in Premier League games at the Anfield. But it was Amad Diallo who had the final say, in the game, connecting to Garnacho's cutback and then leveling it for Manchester United. Maguire actually had a chance to put United in front and perhaps maybe win the game for them, their first win at Anfield since 2016, but his effort could only sail wide after he just blasted it. So it was a thrilling game. It was quite an epic game over there at Anfield, but after 90 minutes, it was nothing, or there was nothing to separate both sides. United could be the happiest of both teams, because going into that game, everyone was thinking that they were going to get battered, especially after losing to teams like Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle, and then also Wolverhampton Wanderers. You'd be thinking that Liverpool were just going to get this one over the line with. But at least it's a positive for Ruben Amorim and his charges after making a point from Liverpool away from home. All right, so now it's time to talk about Mohamed Salah, who is also making waves and grabbing the headline so far at this season. And some people are even mentioning that he is currently the front runner to win the Ballon d'Or award should he continue, at this trajectory, because he's really banging in the goals. Over the weekend against Manchester United, yes, despite the fact that he only had to convert from a spot kick, he still made history, becoming already years the highest scoring African in the history of the Premier League. But, to move level with Thierry Henry, who is also being regarded as one of the greatest ever strikers to grace the Premier League on 175 goals, is quite a remarkable feat. And Mo Salah, after converting that penalty, after the late had given away a penalty for a handball, that means that Mo Salah could also boast of such a wonderful feat, 175, and he's only a goal shy of Frank Lampard's 176 goals in the Premier League, which means that it looks like Mo Salah could even be top 3 or top 4 in the top scorers in the Premier League or in the history of the Premier League, because there are only two chaps in front of him within touching distance, and he could go some way, especially if he wants to break Alan Shearer's record of 260 goals in the Premier League, and that would be, if possible, that he renews or extends his contract with Liverpool, which is not likely looking at how things are going. But Salah currently on 175 goals, and that is a huge feat for the Egyptian king. All right, so Paris Saint-Germain also were crowned champions of that's the French Super Cup, or you could call it the Trophy des Champions, which happened over the weekend. They got to play that game actually in Qatar at the Stadium 974, where it was a very, very cagey game between Paris Saint-Germain and then also Monaco. Ghanaians were hoping that at least Mohamed Salisu would have at least just grabbed a medal for himself, should Monaco have gone on to win that one. But it was Paris Saint-Germain who struck very, very late in that game, thanks to a goal from former Borussia Dortmund and then also Barcelona winger, that's Ousmane Dembele. He scored in the second minute of added time to give Paris Saint-Germain a 1-0 win, which means that Paris Saint-Germain grabbed their first trophy of the season, beating Monaco in Qatar to win the Trophy des Champions. That's the French Super Cup. Another name. Or if you want to call that in English, then it's the French Super Cup. So PSG have been crowned champions in that one. Vinicius Jr is actually making the headlines, and you'll be asking if it's for the right or the wrong reason. So, in Madrid's latest La Liga game, played at the Mestalla at the home of Valencia, where it got a bit, nail-biting moment over there, nerve-wracking as well, where Valencia took the lead in that game, and then it was Jude Bellingham who also missed the penalty to draw Madrid level. Kylian Mbappe also scored in that game, but his goal was ruled out for offside. So in that game, there were quite some highlights because Jude Bellingham actually stole the show, but it was Vinny Jr. who made the headlines for the wrong reasons, actually ending up as a villain in that game and nearly costing Real Madrid after clashing with the Valencia goalkeeper, actually just hitting him on the face, and you could use the word slap because he actually ended up making contact with the face of the Valencia goalkeeper, and he had to be sent off after the referee had to confer with VAR, confirming that and deeming his actions as a violent one. So Vinny Jr. was sent off, and after the game, it was a manager for Real Madrid, that's Carlo Ancelotti, who voiced out his frustration after one of his key players, who is currently also the FIFA best player, being sent off in that game. But Carlo Ancelotti says Real Madrid would be hopeful of that's appealing for the red card, which he believes that shouldn't have been a red card, and Vinny Jr. shouldn't have been sent off. But what he's saying is that the club could be appealing the Brazilian's red card, which could see him. So if the red card should stand, actually, and if Real Madrid should lose the appeal, it means that Vinny Jr. could be missing 3 La Liga games, which could really, really be at the detriment of the club, because they are gunning for the title after winning in that game against Valencia at the Mestalla. It means that they have gone past their bitterest rivals, that's Barcelona, on the league log. But if they end up being successful with the appeal, then it means that Vinny Jr. could be back. But the bone of contention here has been Vinny Jr.'s character or behavior in recent times, and some people have already tagged him as a nasty player and a player who doesn't even deserve to win the Ballon d'Or, which has left it wide open for fans to also react to the recent behavior from the Brazilian youngster. So you think that he is a worthy recipient of the FIFA the best player of the year, or you think these actions do not actually warrant him to be crowned a Ballon d'Or winner? So let's do some boxing, where Anthony Joshua, the popular heavyweight boxer who is of Nigerian descent, so he fights under the flag of Great Britain, or England if I should put it, but if he traces his roots, then Anthony Joshua is a proud African from West Africa, Nigeria to be precise. So it's not really been good for him in the ring in recent times after losing a couple of fights to Ruiz of Mexico. He's really lost a lot as far as his pedigree is concerned as a heavyweight boxer. The ones world fearsome heavyweight boxer, is now really not faring well, in the ring. But at the other side, he made a trip to his homeland, Nigeria, and guess what Anthony Joshua was seen doing? He was caught riding a motorbike, which in the native parlance is known as Okada. So Anthony Joshua had to visit Nigeria, take a step away from all the pressure in the ring, the punches and all that, just to spend some time, enjoy life with his family, and then also, to experience what actually goes on in his native Nigeria. So he was caught riding Okada, and that's a scene you're seeing currently. Quite, hilarious, but then also you can't just begrudge this young man who has really faced a lot of, criticism in recent times after losing a lot of bouts that you'd be thinking that, AJ should be winning. But you'd also be hoping that after such an experience in his homeland, then Anthony Joshua could be back to his best in the ring. And we'll be hoping to see him again in 2025 winning some bouts.